Hey, what's up everyone? If you love arcade-style games and you own a Nintendo Switch, you are sitting on a goldmine. Today, I'm counting down 15 games you absolutely need to play in 2026. Old school hits, remakes, and hidden gems. Let's get into it. Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. This one right here is a top-down shooter rooted deep in Japanese folklore. You play as Pocky, a shrine maiden, alongside her tanuki buddy Rocky, and the two of them are chasing down a mysterious villain called the Black Mantle, who's stirring up trouble with the yokai of the land. The story takes a pretty unexpected turn partway through, and the game builds out a whole cast of characters you end up playing as, each one bringing something different to the table. Pocky uses sacred scrolls, Rocky uses nature magic, and new characters like Ame no Uzume and Hotaru Gozen each fight in their own way. The core gameplay is all about firing projectiles and deflecting enemy shots back at them using a sweeping melee move. That deflect mechanic is actually more important than it looks. Get it down and the game opens up. 8 stages of relentless action await you, and the pixel art is absolutely stunning. Contra is back, and Way Forward is at the helm. Operation Galuga is a reimagining of the original 1988 NES classic, same run-and-gun DNA, but built from the ground up with modern presentation. The story sends series regulars Bill Reiser and Lance Bean to the Galuga archipelago to investigate a terrorist group following a mysterious meteor shower. What they find there is way bigger than expected. You blast through 8 stages on a 2.5D plane, mowing through alien-infested military zones with a variety of weapons. And unlike older Contra games, you carry 2 at once and can swap between them on the fly. There's a perk system too, where you earn points and spend them on upgrades, like Bill's invincibility dash or increased jump height for Lance. 4 characters are available in arcade mode, each playing noticeably differently. Story mode has cutscenes and unlockable characters, while arcade mode keeps things clean and pure. SEGA Mega Drive Classics. This is the collection you dig into when you want to just start gaming with zero excuses. It packs over 50 classic SEGA Mega Drive titles under one roof. Games like Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Phantasy Star, Comic Zone, Gunstar Heroes, Shinobi 3, and a whole lot more. There's no central story. This is pure genre variety. Beat-em-ups, shooters, RPGs, platformers, sports games, all sitting there waiting for you to jump in. The emulation is clean, with rewind and save state features that make diving into harder classics a lot more manageable. You can also play some titles in local multiplayer, which is a huge bonus for couch sessions. Online leaderboards are in there too. The real draw here is the sheer range of what you get. This isn't a curated best of with 5 games. It's a deep library. Dropped in April 2026, and it's the He-Man beat-em-up fans have been asking for since the 80s cartoon. Developer Bitmap Bureau, the team behind Terminator 2 D No Fate, built this thing from the ground up, with gorgeous 16-bit style sprites and a crystal clear love for the source material. The setup? Skeletor and Evil Lyn interrupt the Royal Festival of Light, kidnap King Randor and Queen Marlena, and steal the Dragon Pearl, an ancient relic of serious power. He-Man, Teela, and Man-at-Arms set out across Eternia to stop Skeletor's dark ritual before it's too late. You fight through 12 stages, spanning the Royal Palace, Snake Mountain, the Vine Jungle, and beyond. Each character has their own special moves and magic abilities, and the combat blends the crunch of classic arcade brawlers with the fantasy spectacle of the animated series. You can even ride Battle Cat in certain sections. Boss fights feature iconic villains like Beastman, Trapjaw, Evil Lyn, and Skeletor himself. Capcom Fighting Collection. Capcom pulled together 10 classic arcade fighters into one collection, and the lineup is genuinely impressive. Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, Vampire Savior, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, and more. The Darkstalkers games alone justify the price of entry. These are the gothic horror fighters that never got their proper shine. Characters like Morrigan, Felicia, Dimitri, and John Talbane bringing wild supernatural movesets to a fast-paced 2D fighting engine built for combo creativity and rushdown aggression. Every game in the collection supports online play with rollback netcode, which is a game changer for fighting games on Switch. If you've never touched Darkstalkers before, Vampire Savior is the one to start with. It plays differently from Street Fighter with its aggressive spacing and air movement, and it rewards you heavily for learning it properly. Castlevania Advance Collection. These are Metroidvania-style adventures where you explore a giant castle, level up your character, collect weapons and abilities, and fight your way through iconic bosses toward Dracula. Each game handles differently. Circle of the Moon is tighter and darker in tone, leaning on a card-based magic system. Harmony of Dissonance brings back the Belmont whip style and focuses heavily on dual castle exploration. Aria of Sorrow is widely considered the best of the three. You play as Soma Cruz, a young man drawn to Dracula's castle in 2035, and the game builds a genuinely compelling mystery around why he's there and what power he holds. The soul-absorbing system in Aria is fantastic, letting you take abilities from every enemy you defeat. Dracula X is the odd one out, a more linear action platformer port of Rondo of Blood. SNK put together over a dozen of their classic titles. Games like Ikari Warriors, Guerrilla War, POW, Prehistoric Isle, Psycho Soldier, Vanguard, and more, covering their run from the late 70s all the way into the early 90s. Most of these games never had a clean home release, so playing them on Switch is genuinely the best way they've ever been available. The collection includes both arcade and NES versions of many titles side by side, which is a cool comparison for anyone interested in how the ports differed. There's a museum section packed with artwork, trivia, and historical context about each game and the people who made them. Rewind and save states are included, which matters a lot here because some of these games are brutally quarter-hungry coin-op originals. Guerrilla War in particular is a game more people should know about. It's essentially a better-feeling Ikari Warriors with smoother controls and wilder enemy density. Ninja 5 is the one people overlook, and that's a genuine shame. Originally released on the Game Boy Advance in 2003, this side-scrolling action game barely got any attention at launch and became one of the rarest GBA cartridges ever made. On Switch, it's finally easy to access. You play as Joe Osugi, a ninja cop tasked with rescuing hostages from terrorists across a series of fast-moving levels. The gameplay is part shinobi, part bionic commando. You've got a sword for close combat, shuriken for ranged attacks, and a grappling hook that lets you swing across the environment in ways that feel incredibly fluid. The grapple is the heart of the game. Learning to chain it with jumps and attacks turns movement into something that feels almost rhythmic. Hostages are scattered through each level, and getting to them without them dying adds a layer of pressure to every encounter. Huntdown drops you into a world where corporations run everything. Gangs own every street corner, and the only solution is bringing in bounty hunters to clean up the mess. You pick one of three hunters, Anaconda, John Sawyer, or the cybernetic Mo-Man. Your job is to work through 4 gang territories and take down every boss standing between you and the credits. The gameplay leans hard into cover mechanics. You duck behind cars, crates, and barriers, pop out to fire, and dash to reposition when things get too hot. It's more deliberate and tactical than it looks at first. Each level has hidden stashes to track down, adding a reason to explore beyond just surviving. The bosses are the highlight. Every single one has a distinct personality, a unique attack pattern, and some genuinely funny dialogue. It runs at a locked 60 frames per second. The 16-bit art is absurdly detailed, and the synth soundtrack slaps from start to finish.
They just sterilized the population.
He knows everything except mercy.
Empathy module not responding.
When Mo-Man looks at you, you look.
Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons is a roguelite beat-em-up built around a clever tag system. You pick 2 characters from a roster that grows to 13 over time, and you swap between them mid-fight. If your special meter is full, you can tag your partner in for a combo or to escape a bad spot. It completely changes how a solo playthrough feels compared to a standard brawler. The 4 gangs are spread across 4 mission nodes, and you choose the order you take them on. Earlier choices affect how later stages play out. Between missions, you spend tokens earned from combat on character upgrades, new moves, and eventually, new roster additions. The chibi art style throws some people off, but it works. It gives the game a light-hearted energy that contrasts well with the street-brawling chaos. The roguelite elements never get in the way of just playing a fun beat-em-up, and local co-op makes the whole thing even better.
My turn. Thank you.
Wild Guns Reloaded is a gallery shooter that plays unlike almost anything else on this list. You stand in the foreground, shooting into a 3D-ish background full of robots, mechs, and outlaw machines in a weird sci-fi Wild West setting where robots have taken over and 2 bounty hunters, Annie and Clint, are on a mission to bring them down. The Reloaded version adds 2 more characters, Doris and Bullet the dog, each with different weapons and mechanics that give you genuine reasons to switch things up. Gameplay revolves around dodging incoming fire by moving side to side or jumping, while simultaneously locking on and shooting targets in the background. You can lasso enemies to hold them in place, critical for clearing crowds and managing chaos. Each stage ends with a massive boss fight that pushes your dodging and targeting to the limit. The challenge curve is steep, but very fair. You learn the patterns, you survive longer, you eventually dominate. Sonic Mania Plus is the Sonic game fans waited 25 years for. Built by a team of dedicated Sonic enthusiasts with full SEGA backing, it's a 2D platformer that recaptures everything great about the classic Genesis trilogy and adds brand new zones, acts, and mechanics that feel like they genuinely belong in that era. The story is simple. Eggman and a group of mysterious robot antagonists called the Hard-Boiled Heavies are hunting down a powerful gem called the Phantom Ruby, and Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have to stop them. The Plus version adds Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, each with unique abilities. Mighty can do a ground pound, Ray can glide. The momentum-based physics are exactly right. Zones flow from one section to the next with incredible creativity, and the remixed classic stages are filled with surprises that even longtime fans won't see coming. Every special stage and bonus stage is distinct. The original Shadow of the Ninja was an NES gem from 1990 that most people never played. Tango Project, the same team who made the original, rebuilt it from the ground up and released Reborn in 2024, and it is stunning. The year is 2029. America has fallen under the iron fist of Emperor Garuda. 2 ninjas, Hayate and Kaede, are sent in to end his rule. The story is exactly as straight to the point as that sounds, and it works perfectly. You carry a katana for close combat and a kusarigama, a chained sickle for ranged attacks, and both can be upgraded. On top of that, you have a floating hover jump, a wall run, and a dash, plus a growing inventory of sub-weapons like shuriken, clubs, and guns you find in containers scattered across stages. The movement is deliberate and weighted. Every action has commitment, nothing cancels mid-animation, and that design forces you to play smart. It is genuinely hard. The pixel art is some of the best ever produced in a modern game. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is the ultimate archive of how one of gaming's most important series evolved. From the original Street Fighter, through the legendary Street Fighter II and all its revisions, into Street Fighter Alpha, and then the fan-favorite Street Fighter III Third Strike. It's all here. 4 of those games, Super Street Fighter II Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, support online multiplayer with rollback-style netcode. A museum mode breaks down the history of each game, with concept art, character designs, and developer notes. The fighting itself ranges across very different eras of the franchise. Street Fighter II is about fundamentals and zoning. Alpha 3 brings custom combos and V-ism-style creativity. And Third Strike is one of the deepest and most expressive 2D fighters ever made, built around the parry mechanic that rewards those who truly understand the game. Shredder's Revenge is a beat-em-up that plays like it was made in the arcade golden age, but designed with everything we know now. Developed by Tribute Games, it captures the exact energy and visual language of the classic 1987 TMNT cartoon and builds one of the most satisfying co-op experiences available on any platform. Shredder and Krang have taken over the city, and the turtles Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, along with April O'Neil, Casey Jones, and Splinter, set out stage by stage to push the Foot Clan out. Each character has their own distinct moveset. Leonardo is balanced, Raphael hits hardest, Michelangelo is fast, Donatello has the longest reach. Every character has a dive attack, a taunt that builds DPS, a special that eats meter, and an air combo system that feels incredible once you get the rhythm down. Stages are creative, detailed, and full of little cartoon references. The boss fights are memorable. And that's the list. 15 arcade games on Nintendo Switch that are worth every minute in 2026. Drop a comment and let me know which one you're jumping on first. If you dug this video, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.